GWATA TV gives you a first look at North Central Washington's business news. You'll hear from our local business, tech, and education companies as Jenny discusses hot topics and current events with some of the best innovators and pioneers in North Central Washington.
Hello, North Central Washington. I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, your host for GWATA TV. On today's episode of GWATA TV, I'll be interviewing the 2018 Innovative Technology Business of the Year Award winners. GWATA recently handed out this award during our annual Innovator Awards Luncheon, which the whole purpose of the luncheon is to celebrate and recognize innovators in business, technology, and in education. I'm really excited about today's episode where we'll get to deep dive into the award recipient for this year, and we'll also talk about their plans for the future. In order to set the stage for the interview, I'd like to first introduce all of the 2018 finalists for Innovative Technology Business of the Year. We had 3 great companies nominated for this award, and they included PetHub, Accor Technology, and iSpyFire. First, you'll watch a video, and then when we come back, I'll be live on air with our 2018 award recipients. Stay tuned.
Everything is technology based. We've got a lot of tech going on that's not necessarily device and computer based.
Technology has become a necessary component to be successful, to be competitive, to be efficient. And so we like to see the technology supported throughout the community for the same aspects of why we like technology in our own company.
It's important for companies to embrace technology because it elevates the company. As they learn new ways to do things, as they are actually able to become more efficient in their work, it allows time to be freed up so that people can be a little more creative about their jobs. They can actually go and do more things that they never had time to do before, and technology brings a lot of that to us.
Embracing the technology for us particularly has really enabled us to streamline our assembly processes, improved quality, even improved safety for our employees. We actually use it as a force multiplier. We've managed to create more jobs with our automation. Not only just more jobs, more skilled jobs.
Technology is so important to the sustainability of our business and industry. Without it, we would fail and become non-competitive. But once in place, it provides lots of jobs, careers that can support families and provide upward mobility in the workforce.
All you do by not embracing technology is fall further behind because the whole world is embracing technology.
Stimulus supports this award because it aligns with our key values and what we do to make our company run well. This year's nominees were an exciting group. It's fun to see the advance in technology being used in the companies, and we're excited for them to move forward.
North Central Washington is an interesting spot for tech. We have cheap power, we have awesome internet, and it's an industry just waiting for companies to get into. Honestly, at the end of the day, to do tech, you need a building with power and internet and people. That's what it takes. It takes creative people, power and internet. And if you can do that, you can build a tech company.
There's a lot of exciting things that are out there in technology right now, and our valley is primed to invite those things in. They are the jobs of the future. Things are changing. Our economy is so rapidly changing. We are a global economy now where we have to be able to reinvent ourselves, and a community like Wenatchee can do that through tech.
Welcome back to GWATA TV. I'd like to introduce our guests today, Cy Sousley and Matt Sousley. Did I say that correctly?
Yep.
Perfect, starting off right. And congratulations, your company, iSpyFire, was the award winner for our 2018 Innovative Technology Business of the Year.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we're really excited at GWATA to highlight your company and the great work that you're doing. But before we talk about the Innovator Awards, I'd love to just introduce the audience to you both. So talk a little bit about your history, what your company is doing, and I'll let Cy, you start it off first. So give us a little background on yourself and iSpy.
All right, so iSpyFire is a software company. We write products for first responders so they can better serve their communities. That's ultimately what we do. Our main product is a CAD integration system that brings 911 information from dispatch to responders' devices as they're en route to calls and things like that. So that's what we do. The whole thing came about as a project for Cashmere Fire, where Matt and I both volunteer. We were looking around at products that did some of the things that we do. We couldn't find anything that did all of these pieces that we were looking for. So we sat down, wrote it for ourselves, got a little attention from neighboring agencies who asked if they could get their hands on it as well. Initially we told them no. And
you're already busy writing it for one volunteer fired.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So once we got a little more time under our belts and whatnot, and we decided to go ahead and open it up, and with a lot of work with our dispatch center, Rivercom, and making the product more generic so that other agencies could use it, we set off, and here we are now, 5 years later.
Okay, so 5 years your company's been growing.
Yep.
As you mentioned, you really only started this to support Cashmere as a side project because you're volunteer firefighters.
Yep.
And what was the main drive for this? Like, what was the problem that you were encountering as volunteer firefighters that you wanted to fix?
It's kind of two pieces, really.
Okay.
One, we used to track everything on paper. So you'd go to a call, you'd show up, you'd have to grab the clipboard off the wall and write it all in and check and check and check and then go home. The second was when the pager goes off at 2 in the morning, like, I don't know about you, but I don't think real well at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
When it's like, no, wake up!
Right.
Okay, and they, here's where you're going and here's what you have. There's a lot of times you're like, where am I going again 5 minutes later? Because I don't remember.
Yeah.
Things can change in that short amount of time, and we found that, hey, we can make this better. We can make it so I can help find my way to the call, and I can help my 2 a.m. self actually function ahead of time there. So.
And Cashmere Fire District is not unique. There's a lot of volunteer-based fire stations, districts throughout not only the state but the country, right?
Yep.
And from what I've learned from you both is that the resources into emergency management continue to go down, right?
Yes, yeah, we're getting less and less volunteers and more calls. So this problem is presenting itself more and more frequently. So. Two problems: the paper trail, and then and then all those details at 2 a.m.
What are some of the problems now you're working on? So you've kind of created this technology for municipalities.
Oh boy.
How does that continue to develop as you develop your company?
We've created some products now that are specific to the dispatch centers.
Okay.
And the idea being is that we're trying to speed up the amount of time it takes from when you call 911 to you getting responders to your door. And we're doing that by interfacing different systems together to speed up manual processes.
And then you're also reworking your product, I think you just said, about it being a little more generic so that you can roll out and help municipalities across the country, right? This is not a local Washington State product now.
No, not anymore. Yep.
Okay. We talked about offline the number of emergency calls. I think Matt had some pretty high stats. I mean, there's millions of calls.
Yeah, if you look at the countrywide, I've seen a couple different numbers that bomb around, somewhere between 40 and 60 million emergency calls a year handled by the pretty much by the fire and EMS services.
And those are going to be everything. Well, your company is iSpyFire. You're not talking about just fire,
Yes.
right?
Right,
So someone having a heart attack
Right.
or a car accident or any type of emergency
Any type of emergency,
Yep.
yep.
coming down the line. And I think one of the things that was most compelling about your nomination for me was the result of the technology, right, when it's applied, is you're getting emergency responders out to people. It could save their life, right?
Right.
Yeah.
it
We get you, hands on chest for a cardiac event 2 minutes faster. Like that could make or break the game for you. So
Right.
yeah. Yep.
Or for a structure fire,
Sure,
that's the difference
exactly
between
right.
a total loss.
Right.
Yeah, a room and contents fire versus the whole house is gone. Yep.
So now that we've laid a baseline for the work you're doing, let's talk about your team. So you've grown from, this was a side project, to now you're employers.
Yep.
And how's that continuing to evolve?
The
startup world,
yeah,
right?
so there's
Yeah.
5 of us now. We're
Okay.
just bringing on our sixth person,
Okay.
an intern doing some analytic work for us. So yeah, probably looking at another 1 or 2 account manager style folks the first quarter into the second quarter next year. So.
And you stayed in the heart of Cashmere, right?
Yes.
As
Yeah.
you've grown your business, right next to the fire
Right
station.
next to the fire station.
Yeah, actually, we weren't looking for a building at the time, but we noticed it was open and went, well, it couldn't get any better than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And does Cashmere Fire still stay kind of your test kitchen for what you want to do? And
Yeah, it does. They put up with a lot of interesting things.
a lot
Yes.
of beta testing.
Yes, a lot of beta testing.
A lot of beta
Yeah.
testing through the products. Awesome. Well, it's time for us to take a quick commercial break. For the audience watching at home, though, before we go to commercials, you're actually going to watch a quick video that talks more about iSpyFire, what their company is doing, and highlights why they were selected as our 2018 Innovative Technology Business of the Year. So enjoy the video and then join us after commercial break.
iSpyFire is a CAD integration system that brings live streaming CAD information from dispatch to responders.
Think of like Facebook. So you have your friends, and as they put stuff in the system, it streams right to your live feed and everything's there. It's there really quick. It's distributed, so it handles lots and lots of people on it all at one time with lots and lots of data. And so we've tried to build iSpy the same way, except for all the data that you're getting onto your live feed is from 911 calls.
What makes iSpyFire unique is our interface, really. That live streaming bit of information is really what separates us from any of our competitors that are out there.
My brother and I were volunteers at Cashmere Fire, and yeah, as a side project, getting set up, trying to get basically a way to make our lives better, has blown up into this nice big tech company that is helping first responders all over the state and other parts of the country. The whole goal is to help first responders. Like, that's kind of the company motto, is help first responders help people. And that's really what we do.
We've taken something that was a 14-step process and took, say, on average 2 or 3 minutes to accomplish, and taken that to a 4-step process, automated the other 10 steps, and made it a 60 to 90 second process. In this industry where we're getting less and less help and more calls at the end of the day, honestly, mutual aid is a big deal. So we're helping our neighboring agencies are helping us, being able to see that this engine or this aid car is out of service because they're on this incident, and another call comes in. Having that upfront information is a big deal. It just makes us all more efficient.
Welcome back to GWATA TV. I'm on air here with iSpyFire, our 2018 Innovative Technology Business of the Year. I said it all at once.
All together.
Congratulations. Yes. So we just recently had the luncheon. How are you guys feeling about winning the award this year and kind of all the post-production afterwards?
It's been fun.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It really caught me off guard. It really did. I've known about GWATA since about 2001, and it was really interesting to get the call from you guys that you knew about us. So it's been cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been really neat.
I don't know if I've ever told you either. I think you have the record for most nominations. We had 9 nominations.
Wow.
For iSpyFire.
Wow.
So you were, there was not just one person who wanted to nominate your company, but quite a few out there. So that was really cool to see.
There was an event of some kind that pushed that along.
Yeah, some people, they got out there and they filled out their nomination forms, and so that just shows the community support too for the work iSpyFire is doing and why the community
really cool.
wants to support you.
Yeah.
We talked in the break a little bit about technology in general. You've been involved with GWATA in the past. You both have been in technology for years. This is not a new field for you. Why do you think it's so important to support technology in North Central Washington?
I think at the end of the day, it's kind of becoming your middle class job in the world. You know, manufacturing's kind of going away, and technology is just it never goes away. We all still use wheels.
Yeah.
Like, technology just keeps growing, and it's a great spot to get into. Helps move your business forward, and from employees' standpoints, like it's the next, nice middle class jobs, pays well, and it's pretty rewarding work. It's
Well, for you, with a kind of this mission-based technology company, you're impacting lives. I imagine that's really rewarding. And you've also went into an area where I imagine there's not been a lot of innovation. Some of these kind of public sector initiatives are not always reworked, right?
Sure.
Certainly, sometimes they are. But sometimes government services aren't the first to go high tech.
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a lot of space, I imagine, for not only your company, but others to innovate how we do public programming or our public works.
Absolutely. Yep.
And the other thing we've talked about is just the location, right? You don't need to be in Seattle to run a tech company.
No, you can be anywhere. I mean, at the end of the day, cheap power, good internet, and a roof, and talented people is all you need to run tech companies. I mean, they tend to center in, San Jose, Seattle, whatnot, but that's just where the big money startups are.
Yeah.
But most of your tech companies out there, I mean, Microsoft started in a garage, Apple started in a garage. You just need some, ambition, a little bit of vision, and an idea, and some smart people, and go. So,
are you excited about the tech community we have in North Central Washington and the talent coming through? What are your thoughts on the tech community here?
There's some neat stuff coming out here. I'm surprised often when I run into something new. I'm like, wow, that's here, that's cool. Drive down the road and you run past this huge new bit farm facility going in, and just massive stuff. And it's like, wow, this is really slick, and it's all right here.
I think one of the things for GWATA is the Innovator Awards Luncheon allows us to highlight and pull out some of these companies that people don't realize are really leading with technology. We've got it strong within agriculture. We've got it strong within our manufacturing, the aerospace. So it's really cool now to see a new field and to see your company grow and start. How do you think our community can support this continued growth? Support new startups like yours, support more technology innovation?
Back to the schools. Start them young. I think we've got some great instructors. Actually, you highlighted some of them last week. There's some really neat things going on, and you get them excited about it early, and it's just going to keep pushing forward.
So supporting those STEM pathways in schools,
Right. Yeah.
the connection to computer science, and also that creative problem solving.
yeah, exactly.
Because we've talked a lot about how this is also, there's a lot of creativity inside of technology.
Yeah, a lot of it's problem solving, right? It's dreaming up oh, there's a problem, we need to dream up some sort of solution that doesn't exist today, and then find ways for technology to solve that problem for us. And that takes creative thinking. So, you know, the STEM stuff's good, math, science, technology, all that stuff. I mean, you need that to understand it. But at the end of the day, it's that creative thinking that, you know, not afraid to fail, you know, even being able to like, draw something, right? Whatever it is. And there's spots for people in technology for that. Like we all have logos, we all play music, you know, on our phones and our games, and like people write the documentation and whatnot. So I mean, tech isn't just writing code. Like it takes that whole big, nice, round circle of people to actually make tech work.
Well, in your system, so you've got a system that's overlaying maps, and you're building out all the documentation for companies, well, I should say municipalities, to use it, right?
Exactly
like,
right, yeah.
You got to train people on how to use the technology. You have to make it look presentable and digestible. It's not lines of code that they're reading on iSpyFire.
Exactly right. So you've got designers that design what it looks like, filmmakers to make, you know, films to train people how to use it, tech writers who are writing the documentation on all that, graphics design, all that stuff. So it's not just code, it takes everything. So even if code isn't your thing, like there's spots for you in tech.
Right.
So
it's the full spectrum.
Yep.
And you know, I think earlier we didn't mention it, I wanted to circle back to, you've multiple products that you're using through iSpyFire, but one of the coolest to me was how the shared resources and how you can see, if you're in Cashmere Fire District, how they're doing in Wenatchee, right? Or how they're doing in Leavenworth. And do your emergency services maybe need to be on standby or ready to go? So
Exactly right.
your programs also are promoting that community, that community support, right? And by opening up communication. And I imagine with firefighters, you've had to create a system. They've been used to a paper process that they could easily navigate, right?
Yep. And we're all very stubborn, so we don't like change very much. We do things the old way.
Right.
So it has to be simple. It has to be straightforward, and it just can't be complicated, or it won't be adopted.
Has to be digestible so that they can integrate that new system.
Exactly right.
All right. Well, I think it's time for us to head to another commercial break. I want to encourage people out in the community to look at your video online, spread the word about what iSpyFire is doing. You two will both be at some GWATA events.
Yes,
so people can come out and connect and learn more about their company. And I just want to congratulate you again for being our award winner this year.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, thanks for being on air, iSpyFire. When we come back, we're going to wrap up today's episode of GWATA TV. Thanks for joining us today on GWATA TV. To find out more information on the Innovator Awards Luncheon, I encourage you to check out our website. We have information there on all of our nominees, finalists, and award winners for our 5 awards in business, technology, and education. I also encourage you to check out more information on iSpyFire, our 2018 winner for Innovative Technology Business of the Year, and to plug in at an upcoming GWATA event. We'll see you next time.
Since 1999, GWATA has served as North Central Washington's Tech Alliance. As a 501c3, our mission is to bring people and technology resources together to create a thriving community. Through our work, we aim to inspire, engage, and connect.